What's up, everybody? It's already Thursday. Do y'all believe that? This week's done nearly gone. Had a long weekend last weekend, and man, we done blew through this week already. So, let's see who was first in the house. Looks like Miss Nettie was first in the house. His Way Homestead was second. J. Charles Outdoors was third. Let's see here. His Way Homestead. Wait a minute. Did I say His Way Homestead? Yep, His Way Homestead was second, wasn't it? Let's scroll down here. Texas Family Camping's in the house. Totally Relaxed is here. K&R Destination is in the house. Let's see. Meemaw Matters is here. Meemaw Matters is going to be on the show, what, Monday?
Yes.
Artist on the Road is here. Traveling Salvation is in the house. Mary Jones is here. Mary Jones. I looked back the other day and I posted on my very first, I might have put it in the members only. Anyway, I posted the very first live stream I ever done. Do you know who the first person to come into the chat was? Mary Jones.
Mary Jones?
Mary Jones is a long-time listener. And
awesome, Mary.
An awesome person, great friend. Been supporting us from nearly day one.
You know, you should really send her like at least a paper certificate or something.
Yeah. Or a sticker.
Mary, yeah.
No.
Mary.
No,
I've got something good. Mary, email me your address.
Or at least the Morning Crew sticker. That would be pretty cool.
Ooh,
I want to send you a packet. That's a great idea.
Give her a special present.
It will be absolutely special for sure.
Exactly. That would be awesome.
So let's go on down here. Kenneth Oakes is in the house. Linda R. is here. RV Weekends is in the house. A dozen stickers RV Weekends says.
Well, you know, once you get one, the other 11 come pretty quick. So, you know.
So Mary Jones put, I will send that to you. I've been following you since you found trouble. Dude, that's when I first found you. I don't know what that means, when I found trouble.
Probably all the Yahoo.
Oh, when I found Troubadour, I bet.
Troubadour.
I bet
Yeah,
that's what you say.
that's what it was.
We got Ava.
And then autocorrect did not like the word troubadour.
No.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Ava Potterfield.
I don't like to type that out.
Yeah.
You think troubadour is not a word.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what she meant to put, Troubadour.
Yeah.
So that's back in the day. I told y'all Troubadour got us recognized by a lot of people. And look, they got us recognized by Mary Jones. So.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could find out who was the first person to make a comment on a video. That'd be cool.
You should be able to go back in your
very first video and see who made it.
Well, yeah. Most likely be your first video. Not necessarily if nobody commented on your first video.
That's true. Somebody might have commented on the second one before they commented.
You can filter your comments in YouTube Studio when you go into comments up at the top and it says filter. You can filter them. So there may be a way to do, you know, like from beginning to end or whatever. Newest to oldest, oldest to newest.
Yeah, good deal. All right, so tomorrow's fun day. Sunday is Tammy's birthday. Y'all don't forget that. She's 12 days older than me. I married an older woman.
Yep.
I'm older than Jesse.
Hey, I'm younger than Mel.
I'm like 2 years older than Jesse.
Hey, we got a little bit crazy.
Wait a minute. What did you say? Happy Place Camping?
And Linda R.
Back up. How much older did you say you was than Jesse?
2 years.
Oh, I thought you said 10. I thought, no way.
No, you know, I'm older than him, but he looks older than me. So it's all.
So my dad is 10 years older than my stepmom, and my stepmom is 10 years older than me. How cool is that? So Meemaw Matters will be on Monday. Tuesday morning, we got a correction. We had to make a switch because of some stuff that come up with Homemade Blessings by D. Cobb. So we have put on van life mode for Tuesday morning. So that all I done, I did not delete the thumbnail. I just changed the name of the guest. So if you've seen that as Homemade Blessings by D. Cobb, I swapped that out. What?
She asked for prayers. D. Cobb did.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sent out prayers.
Okay. Good deal. So y'all remember them in your prayers as well. So, but anyway, so I swapped out. So if you've seen the thumbnail yesterday with D. Cobb on it, I just edited the title to say on van life mode. I didn't go through changing all of it. Tuesday night, y'all help us share it out. The thumbnail's already up. I'll try to share it on the community tab. I forgot to do that. It was already on the community tab, so if you scroll down, you'll see a thumbnail you can share there. But next Tuesday night, the 15th, we'll have Traveling Robert. I want to try to break our record of 99 and get at least 100 people in here. So Wednesday morning, we're going to have the Adventures of Fox and Miles. Thursday, we'll not have a show of next week. So I've got a doctor's appointment. They gotta go suck all the blood out of me. So, and I'm anticipating that anyway. So I figure my iron levels is high, and it's about time. So I just found out this week that caffeine is good for absorbing iron. So that's good. Anyway, so let's get around here and do one more check and get our guest up here. Oh, don't forget, all of our links is on the About page. If it is not in the description, it's on our About page. We got all the podcast links. We got all of the merchandise links, the membership links, the Patreon links. What else? What am I missing? Anyway, anything you need to know about Daydream About Nice Things is on the About page or in the description. We got tired of links not posting. I got tired of links not posting. So I put it where I know it would stay. So anyway, I think we even made a note in the description about that. So let's see here. So I got all that out of the way. Anything else we need to go over before we get started? Oh, I am 4 away from 1,100. So y'all help me break that 1,100 mark.
That's awesome.
So our next big goal, our next party we have will be at 10,000. So I know I'm pushing it out there, but the next party we have, we're gonna be passing out plaques. So we're going to be passing out plaques at the next party, and you don't get plaques until you get 10,000 subscribers. So we'll have a mega party at 10,000. So anyway, so let's not hold our guest up any longer. It may have rounded up to 1,100. Is that what it does?
Yeah, it rounds up. I'm getting a horrible echo here.
I don't know.
I can be 2 to 3 away and it'll jump me to the next tens. I don't know why it does that, but it's annoying. So you have to actually go into your YouTube studio to see your exact numbers. Yeah. But YouTube jumps it ahead faster than what it actually is.
Yeah, I'm actually 3 shy, but I looked just now and that's the first time it showed me rounded up. So, but good deal. So 1,100. We're a long ways from 10,000, but it'll be here before you know it. They say it snowballs. So we'll have a mega party, and you'll see me pass out some plaques to our team members, and we'll just have a blast. So anyway, we got our guest in the house. The audio works. The video works. Everything's going good. Holly is away this morning. He may come back in a little later, but he's having to do some house selling projects. So He's going to slide in a little later. So without further ado, let's get J. Charles Outdoors up here and get to know them a little bit better. What about it, feller?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So sorry to keep you so long. I try to get all that done up front so we don't have to worry about throwing it in at the end.
Well, you got to take care of business.
Yep, that's what you know all about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you, for everybody that don't know you, why don't you tell everybody who you are and your channel name and what it's all about?
Well, my name is John. My channel is J. Charles Outdoors. How do I begin? Back a few years ago, I retired from my photographic career. I was continuing in my retail career, but I had lots of time to go camping and hiking. The problem was, after about 6 months or so, I would lose track of where I'd been and when I'd been there. And I'd be looking through my photographs going, was this in 17 or 15? And so I looked to YouTube, where I did a lot of my watching. I'm not a big television fan. I always liked watching the small creators and campers. I never thought I could actually do this myself, but then I gave it a try. It was real easy, and I kind of liked it. And, I wasn't looking for it, but it's the comment section that really drew me in. The feedback from people really makes it so much more than it is. It's one thing to be out in the woods and camping and communing with nature, but when I'm sitting there next to the camera, who I've substituted as a good friend, it's like having company, like having family, like having you all sitting right next to me. Because I know that everyone on the screen has been watching all my videos, so it's like talking directly to you. So I found a lot of pleasure in that.
So, you say that you wanted to do that, but did somebody inspire you to get on YouTube, or did you just pick it up, just say, I want to do that, and I did it, or were you already watching somebody and they said, well, if they can do that, I can do that? Well,
that's right on the nose. I was watching some of the larger camping channels, Survival Lily and Robinette, that kind of thing, the bushcrafting people. I mean, again, I was watching it. I never thought that I could even come close to doing what they're doing until I tried it, and it's actually pretty cool. I was a photographer back in the 80s and 90s when taking photographs wasn't what it is today. It was a lot more difficult, a lot more expense, a lot more failure rate, where today these cameras are fantastic. I can walk around with a little tiny camera this big and capture this beautiful quality images and sound. It's just fantastic to me. So I gave it a shot, and it worked out really great. Again, I was really mostly doing it for myself and for my family, just my friends to watch. But then the family got bigger and the friends became more. And now it's something else. It really is. It's become more of a preoccupation than an occupation. I get a lot of pleasure from it.
Right. You were you shocked to find out how YouTube really works? Did you go into it thinking it's me against the world like I did? That's the way I did. I went into it thinking me against 31 million other channels. I didn't know I'd have a team.
Yes, very much so. It was very daunting because some of these channels are very good. They're beautiful work, and it is intimidating. But it's a growth thing. I go back. It's one of my favorite hobbies now is to go back and look at some of my older stuff and see where I've improved. You grow a lot. In the past, I was never able to look back at what I did just 6 months ago, and the memory is not what it used to be. I did live through the 80s. Long after my memory is gone and I have no idea who I am, I could always click on YouTube and see who I was, right?
Yeah. You're talking about taking pictures. And I graduated high school in 86. I started my own business. I trenched waterline ditches. I had a trenching machine. Anyway, I was just starting out, so I couldn't afford to buy advertisements. So it's word of mouth, but the local newspaper was run by friends of mine. A whole bunch of people that worked at that paper were all good friends. And so I would sports report and take pictures. And I had never, I was not a photographer. I couldn't even take good family pictures. But, they couldn't get people to work on the sidelines, right? Nobody wanted to work football games. They wanted to attend football games. And so I learned a little bit about the process because in the late 80s, we were still developing film. some of you young people out there don't even know what that is, but we'd go into the dark room and develop film. And I would not take anything for that experience. I wouldn't take anything at all for that experience.
Well, that's what I went to school for, was photography and art. And I spent a lot of time in the darkroom learning how to do the entire photographic process. But silly me, 10 years later, the photographic process was retired and we switched over to the digital format. It fit my style of photography, because as a wedding photographer, we were encouraged to shoot lots of imagery, just like we do in the digital world now. So I was kind of trained to push the button a lot, not to take a push and look,
Right.
So that's how I shoot today. I let the camera capture as much as I can, and I do a lot of work post editing.
Yeah, I meant to say a while ago, I started being a sports reporter and they didn't pay me. I traded it for advertisement.
Well,
so Gary knows what it's like not to get paid.
Right, exactly. I was like an intern, like these two down here.
Yeah.
I'm training them. I'm pouring out my knowledge.
Yeah, we make a lot of zeros on the show.
He's training us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm enlightening you guys on what it is to produce a show, and that way y'all can start.
I'm going to do a YouTube video on what we do every day for you.
One of these days, I'm gonna be scrolling through YouTube, and there's gonna be a wicked video on our conversations back and forth every day, not on the show, off the show, and all the reminder text I get. Gary, did you do this? Gary, did you do that? Say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Quit yelling at Jerry. I get that a lot.
And we also sent you a planner too to help you out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
But white out. Which, what did I say? Get some white out.
Yeah, no, we got to send him white out. We're trying.
He has to use a pen.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't take nothing for what I learned. I mean, I gained a lot because I got free advertisement, built my business. But the fact that I couldn't do it now for nothing, but because it's been so many years ago, but I got to learn how to do that. And we were taught like that too. Let that camera run, especially when the play starts, focus and just hold the button down, let her run. And there was a lot of rolls of black and white film that I've developed. And,
does any photographers use actual film anymore? I mean, is everybody just strictly digital unless it's some kind of maybe a special photography?
In the fine arts community, they're still shooting black and white. They still haven't matched the quality and the clarity of black and white film to this day. And longevity wise, black and white film will last a lot longer than color images. And quite frankly, we don't really know where the digital image is going to go. I mean, as much as it seems very permanent, one electrical pulse could wipe out your hard drive in a second.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You got to take some precautions. I have 3 drives backing up, so just in case that happens. But there is still some film being shot out there. In movies, they're still shooting 35 millimeter and in larger formats. So if you really want super quality, billboard type quality, you're shooting large format film. But that's about it.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I guess you would probably have to develop it yourself. I don't know if anybody out there would still be developing.
I'm in New York City, so yeah, we still have labs here, but mucho bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even back when film was mainstream, it was $10 a roll to buy it, another $15 a roll to process it. I was shooting 40 to 60 rolls of film on a wedding, so frankly, I was paying the lab better than I was paying myself most of the time.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so I imagine your photography in your travels with the Airstream has really gone to a new level now, because before you probably seen stuff as a professional, now you see it as real life. Does that? I know there's a difference.
Do you move your Airstream, John, or is it pretty much?
Right now, she's permanently docked at our camp in the Catskills. She does move. I just choose not to. I drove it for about 6 years or so to the local campgrounds. We used to go down to Lido Beach every summer, that kind of thing. I never really liked going too far. We did take our second honeymoon at Niagara Falls in it.
Oh,
That was great. But talk about white knuckles. By the time you got home driving a single axle trailer down the New York State Thruway across the Triborough Bridge, very frightening situation. One blowout would have just destroyed a piece of Americana that's irreplaceable at this point.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
So she's parked in a safe spot, and hopefully she stays there forever. I guess.
Yeah.
And
My kids can have it, you know.
Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't know, his trailer is named Twinkie. I love it.
I love the Twinkie.
I love the trailer. I love the name. I just love it. And it has a really cool history behind it, I think.
She's a bit famous. Yeah, she is a bit famous.
Go
She
ahead.
was in the film industry back in the West Coast before I had it. I got it from it was originally in Oregon most of its life. It spent most of its time behind a house in Oregon. A gentleman in Kansas called the Airstream guy. He specialized in buying old Airstreams and bringing them cross country to the East Coast where people are looking for them. I got it on eBay. I won it on eBay, I should say. I was bidding against a gentleman from Paris named Boris. I wound up making a last bid at the last 30 seconds of the auction and upped them by $100, and I got it.
Great.
He must have been having cocktails or something like that over there. But I drove out to Harrington, Kansas, and brought her back the week before Christmas. It was my family's Christmas present that year. And I wound up getting caught in an ice storm on the way back. That was a lot of fun. Wound up getting about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of ice around the whole trailer. Had to stop into, God bless you, had to stop into a car wash to get the ice melted off on the way home. But a great adventure. I wish I had my camera rolling during all of that. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I had my still camera. I had a couple of still pictures, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you said she was originally used as a dressing room for, like, what'd you say? Like, not the stars of the show.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been the star. He would have been in the 31-foot ambassador. This would have been more for the comic sidekick kind of guy. I kind of like that. That's who I am.
Who possibly could have become famous for all we know, because you don't really know.
Very possible.
Yeah. So I think that
the stars wind up trashing the trailers anyway. She's in such good shape because of who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it restored when you bought it?
It's in original condition, original operating condition. There's we have a few scratches and dings that came along with it, but I'm trying not to. It's the worst thing I could do is try to repair that kind of stuff.
Right.
With antiques, it's best to leave it with its patina, its history.
Yeah.
Even if I straightened out every dent, it probably would lower the value of the trailer, believe it or not. It would be perfect, yes, but it wouldn't be original. When you walk into the trailer, nothing's been refurbished. I removed the old mattresses and the toilet bowl. All right, I drew the line with the toilet bowl. And, I wanted a fresh one. And same thing with the mattresses. They came right out, and I put in a couple of inexpensive. What are the ones that come in the box that puff up?
Oh, I have one of those.
It works great. It was inexpensive, and it fits the space. You open it up in the space, and it kind of grows into it. Yeah, so it worked out real nice.
When you go out exploring and hiking or camping, you pretty much rough it, is what I've noticed. Like, it's not really a tent that you put up, or is it? Or it's just
it depends on what I'm doing. For summer camping, in summertime, you need a tent or at least a screen house to keep the insects and the animals from getting to you while you're sleeping. Once it gets a little bit chillier, another month from now, I'll be able to camp under a tarp, which just a 3x3 meter tarp, square tarp. Yeah. And a nice bedroll and my wool blanket. If I have the ability to carry my wool blanket, I like to carry it. It's something I don't like to leave the house without. It's in my truck right now.
Yeah.
Do you ever? Sorry. Do you ever take Bella with you when you go?
With a dog on a camping trip, it's very difficult. I have brought her a couple of times, never on film. She's more of my home puppy. I have brought her up to the RV camp a couple of times. But there's a lot to be worried about up there with a dog. We've got wild animals up there, like coyotes. Not to mention, there are mice up there, and I've got those little mouse baits to protect the trailer. Right. So I really worry about that stuff. When I have her up there, I pretty much keep her in my arms the whole time that I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
Just the last trip I was up there, when I was doing the clearing the road for the new RV site, my neighbors had lost track of 2 of their dogs. And the whole time while I was filming, I heard in the background they were calling the dogs. It just frightens the heck out of me to think that my dog was wandering around those woods all by herself. They did find their dogs, by the way.
Right.
Oh, thank God.
The good thing about dogs, they usually come back to where they're fed.
Yes, that's exactly what they did. Right around dinner time, they showed back up again.
Yep.
I would.
I got 2 Yahoos. I doubt I could get them. I had to make them go out. Now, they like it when they get out, but they don't like it long. They know they're spoiled, and they'd rather come in where the air conditioner is.
Yeah, my Bella's still sleeping. We've got heavy rain here this morning, and when it's raining, she stays in bed.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify when Gary was talking about Yahoos this time, he was referring to his dogs and not just saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He don't let us out.
I'm surrounded by a bunch of Yahoos.
You're lucky to be surrounded. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we laugh and cut up a lot, and they kid me about using that term Yahoos. We may design a shirt one day.
I've been called a lot worse by people who know me better.
So, what is so you like to do? You like to do a lot of hiking and rough camping, it right?
Whenever I can. I'm planning a trip up to the Adirondacks right now. I'm running way behind schedule this year with all the COVID garbage that's going on. It's been very difficult to break away from the house. Right now, I've got my eldest daughter is working full-time at my living room table, and my youngest is finishing her last year in college at the dining room table. And I'm here to wait on them. I'm their servant in chief. I'm happy to be there. You know, any opportunity you get to serve your family is an honor and a privilege. So it's something I cherish.
One grown and gone, and one that is working on his bachelor's and then going to get his nurse practitioner's degree.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Working and in college at the same time. So, so he's the only one.
That's the way to do it. That's the way I did it. That's,
Yeah.
If I went to college full time, I probably wouldn't have come home alive. You know, all that partying and the frat stuff. I would have jumped all in that. I was working 40 hours a week and going to school part time, and I just did it for about 5 or 6 years. That's all. That's where I met my wife, and that's the best thing I got out of my college education.
Yeah.
Now, do you actually go out of New York, or do you stay basically in New York when you go on your adventures?
It's not that I stay on purpose. It just there's so much to do here. It's kind of. I would love to travel elsewhere around the country, but I haven't yet. I'd like to get back out to the West Coast soon. I'm wearing my San Diego shirt right now.
Yeah,
always thinking about it. I fell in love with the West Coast when I was 10 years old, and I haven't been back since. So there's a little piece of me hanging out on Venice Beach right now, just waiting for me to come back and get it. But it's a big country out there. There's lots to see. I just need to stay in the vicinity for my family. Upstate New York is incredibly convenient. My camp in the Catskills is about 3 hours north, and another 2 hours brings me up into the Adirondacks, very close to the Canadian border. So I can be in one day. It's kind of like that California thing where you can surf in the morning and ski in the afternoon. I can be on the beach on Long Island in the morning, and I can be on top of a mountaintop by late in the afternoon anyway. Wow. It takes a couple hours to make the climb, but it's very, very well worth it. It's a great place to live. I know it's got a lot of bad reputation, and it deserves it. Trust me. I've spent my whole life here. I was born in Queens. I grew up on Long Island, and I've seen a lot of what people have seen as bad things, but I've seen bad things all over. There are good people and bad people everywhere, positives and negatives. I try to avoid the stereotype.
So, Meemaw Matters asked, they said that you have interesting camp cooking recipes. They want to know if you created those recipes yourself.
Well, no, not every recipe. I've borrowed some from other channels in the past. The Sprite chicken and potatoes was a good one that I got from my friend Jimmy over at My Slice of Heaven. My Slice of Heaven Outdoors. That's his channel. Great channel, by the way. You know, it's his basic recipe with my spin on it. You know, that's all. I think that's what we all do. I think there's really nothing that hasn't been done out there. just like with a song, I think every riff has been sung, every lyric has been written. It's just a matter of putting your personal spin and your own taste on it that makes it yours.
Yeah, Troubadour shared their salsa recipe with me and my wife, and we tuned it a little bit.
Mhm.
And because I like mine a little hotter,
Yep.
and so I added more jalapenos,
A
and
little more
so
spice.
yeah, spiced it up a little bit.
Mhm.
So I think that's what food is all about. Food is about taste. So,
It's a way for you to express yourself, and
Yeah.
it's a great way to express yourself. There's nothing better than your mom's tomato sauce or your mom's beef stew, and then that's really what that's all about. It's not that your mom was an especially good cook, but she was your cook, and that's what makes it
Yeah.
special to you.
and
Your
food
memories,
brings back memories.
your
Yeah.
taste, and your olfactory, your nose, they
Yeah.
really are really affected by your memory.
Mhm.
It's that. That's why they say to stop and smell the roses once in a while, because that smell is going to help you remember. Helping me remember is a big thing on my mind these days. So as I get older, my mind slips. So the more I can remember, the better I can remember. The more I can taste it.
Yeah, I'll be 52 in just a few days, and remembering stuff seems to creep up on me about birthday time every year. And I look at my kids and I'm like, Lord, I don't remember him being little, but I do remember him being little. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
just look at my kids that way. I don't have to think about that.
I'm about to cry now, but
Oh,
some of you guys, well, I haven't told everybody. I mentioned something to Felix and Nettie, and so I've decided I'm going to put my writings into a book, and so I've started writing more, and so that I have enough to put in a book, because I've never kept any of my writings. So I just happened to find about 30 the other day, and I probably
Yeah.
wrote thousands. And if I'd ever kept them all, I could have wrote several books. But anyway, in writing that, I listened to songs that when I was growing up, and I listened to songs when the kids were growing up, and it
Mhm.
brings back so much stuff. And whoop, before you know it, I'll be squalling.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years, I've been on the edge of crying just about every moment of my life. Every time I see my daughters cross another level, get another a great accomplishment, I go
Mhm.
right to tears. I'm sorry. I'll admit it. I'm an emotional man. It's from where I am. It's my father was the same way. His father was the same way. It's
Yeah.
just I love my children, and it affects you deeply when you see them happy, sad, anything like that. And then they have their ups and their downs, and you just got to ride along with them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep, they're like my fur babies in there. Some days they're fixing to be homeless, and the next moment I wouldn't take $1 million for them. But
If I had it, I'd give it to them. Man.
yeah, here lately the fur babies has been closer to being homeless than they have been lifelong friends.
Well, I think it's a good trend, actually. It's something we're going back to that we did in the past, where you stayed close to home, families staying together. It just lends strength, and they make fun of it with the millennial thing, and I don't like it because I have millennial kids, and they do live at home with me. They could go out and get an apartment tomorrow. My daughter makes a good living. She's a designer in the city. Well, now she's working at home. But why? Why should she go out and spend $1,500, $2,000 a month on a space that she's hardly ever in? And I've got a perfectly good room for her. And I'm not a bad dad. I'm okay. I let them do what they want. We have a good time. I make good food.
Yeah.
both my kids have roommates. They have to, because
Yeah, you would.
they couldn't do it on their own. I don't think the pay compared to the rent
it's not there.
I mean, even though here in Missouri, our rent is a lot cheaper than I'm sure it is in New York or a lot of other places, but
it's not cheap here.
It just doesn't balance out when you add in all the bills and everything that they have. It's rough. So both my kids have roommates, which is good though, because then they're not my roommates.
They are my roommates. Yes.
I love my kids, but I don't want to be roomies with them. So.
I agree.
So, what is new and upcoming for your YouTube channel?
New and upcoming. I'm always trying to break into new areas. That's something I've been working on for the last few months. We get into niches on YouTube. You know, what are you? What is your channel? I mean,
Yeah.
I went with the outdoor niche because it's inclusive. It's not saying that I'm a metal detecting guy or I'm a camper or I'm an RVer. I'm all of those things. I have an RV. I do metal detecting. I like to explore abandoned places. I like to go to the beach. I like to bike ride. So under the outdoor moniker, I get to experiment and play around. I like to do urban hikes, obviously country hikes, mountain hikes. I want to do some more mountain climbing. I like climbing Peakamoose Mountain a couple of weeks ago. It was a great feeling of accomplishment getting to the summit. So I want to do a little more of that. But as far as different genres, I definitely want to get more into metal detecting and some underwater stuff has been kind of tickling my fancy. I've been getting a kick out of dipping the camera into streams and ponds.
Yeah.
So I got myself a face mask and flippers to put on my feet, and I want to do what they call a little bit of wild swimming.
Tell them
You
what
need to
you
do
do.
underwater metal detecting. Have you seen that?
Yes, my friend Dorset from England, he did a little bit of that where they walk down a stream with their magnets kind of dragging, and they pulling up musket shells and all sorts of little spear tips from the Romans. It's pretty crazy stuff.
They go magnet fishing.
Yeah.
I just got my first magnet. Yeah, I haven't used it yet. It's still dry. I have to give it a shot.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
pretty
afraid.
fun.
See, she knows where all the deep waters are, and I'm afraid one of these days Jury's going to come up missing.
Well, you don't see them today now, do you?
Artist on the Road wants to know if you do geocaching.
I haven't done any geocaching. I have run into geocaches over my travels. I was walking on the North Shore of Long Island last November, and there was a tree down, broken, and I saw a little plastic box like this big. And to be honest with you, I thought someone had dropped off their pet's ashes or something like that, so I didn't want to touch it. But afterwards, I looked at the pictures and I saw some other geocaching sites, and that's what it must have been. I shook it. I was like, it sounded like bones, so I kind of dropped it. That's the closest I ever come. I was like, ooh.
I would have had to have opened it.
I couldn't do it. I was chicken. I ran away.
Yeah, I'd have chickened out too. That would have creeped me out.
Yeah,
but that does sound like a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I noticed when Happy Place Camping is magnet fishing, what's his name is pulling up the magnet, and Felix is always running the camera. So I don't know what to deal with that.
We call her husband, what's his name? Just so you know who what's his name. Yeah.
His real name.
Gary started that because he couldn't remember his name in one of his videos, and he called him what's his name, so it just kind of stuck, and now everybody, including myself, calls him what's his name.
They may be shirts for that on it one of these days.
Yeah, I never know.
Your sister's in here.
Well, if he's anything like me, he'd appreciate that. I don't mind being what's his name. That's good.
That's
Keeps me out of trouble.
When I first started my channel, I was known for the slot dogs. That's all we talked about, slot dogs. And I told him I was going to write a book one day, Embrace Your Slot Dog. I could not go into anybody's live stream without everybody knowing who I was.
Yeah.
The slot dog, well, Trivia Duo sort of made us known, but the slot dog made us famous. And
no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Yeah, it was cool. I told him I was going to write a book, Embrace Your Slot Dog. It's whatever it is. Still, there's always something. Now they've got me Geary and the Bear, which is, you've been around, you've seen it. Geary and the Bear.
Shirtless.
And I mean, it's always something with these yahoos. I can't go in a live stream and everybody knows Daydream, and that's how you build a channel. That's what I think. Anyway. So, I know we talked about. You said that you went into it like me. You thought you're against the world, but have you been able to? I know you're in a lot of our stuff. We see you all the time in different channels that we follow. But have you been able to settle in different communities that are like yours that you've gained? I know you said you've gained a lot of family, but was you able to do that pretty much early on?
I would put 2 start dates on my YouTube career: the day that I uploaded my first video, and the day that I met the RV community, which would have been around Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's last year. Blue Wave Odyssey. I'll say he's one of the best channels I've ever met. He's just a great guy, great channel, great community of people. At the time, I had never even shown my RV. I was just a guy, an outdoors channel, but they were willing to accept me, being outside of their community, and I like that. After meeting them, I quickly put my RV on my emoji and let them know that I've got one. I'm one of the gang. But but they gave me a sense of community and taught me, which is really a big part of the live streaming community, is actually teaching your viewers how to do this. Most of the people that are watching, even this live stream right now, that there are people watching that have never watched a live stream before. They're not sure exactly what to do with that chat bar over there and who are those people talking. At least that's the way I felt when I first did it. I remember the first time I accidentally clicked on a live stream and some woman from the Philippines turned and looked right at me in the screen. I almost jumped out of my skin. I never realized that was a live connection, and she was reacting to me. I thought she was trying to hack into my computer, so I put turning everything off. But then I realized that it was okay, And then I had my first visit. This is the second time I've been a guest on another live stream, and that was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of people. My channel had substantial growth, obviously.
Yeah.
Since last December, we went from under 100 subscribers up to right now we're at about 790, I think. We're about to have our 800 viewer special. I've got to jump and do one of these live streams myself one of these days. I've got the gear obviously all set up, so it's just a matter of nerves.
You need to tell them about the podcast, because we haven't announced that as far as it being put out there.
So we for all the podcasters beside me is setting, if you're looking at the screen to my right, if you're looking at the screen, I mean to my left if you're looking at the screen, and J. Charles Outdoors, John, and below me is Happy Place Camping, Felix, and below J. Charles Outdoors is Nettie from Mel Nettie Living Free Zip Codes. J. Charles Outdoors is the YouTube channel if you want to learn more about him, and we're going to keep him on here a little while longer. But for all the podcasters, if anybody wants to replay this, you can go to our About page and pull up. I think we're on 6 or 7 podcasts, Spotify, Apple. I don't know. If you can name it, just about, we're on podcast. So, and for all of you guys out there that do live stream, making a podcast is easy. You strip the audio out in StreamYard and upload it to Anchor.fm, which is our podcast platform, and it's free. So if you're not doing a podcast, you ought to consider doing one. And that was just a free ad.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good ad.
I ain't going to say it wasn't a paid ad, because they don't pay me for that ad, but I do get paid on the podcast for doing an ad for them. So
I wanted him to be aware that he's going to be heard on a podcast as well.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to it. How long until it broadcasts?
As soon as I upload it tonight, or sometime this afternoon, I'll upload it. It takes about 15 minutes, but usually I start it as soon as the show's off, downloading it, then I upload it, and then I go drive my bus. Usually it's after I get back from driving my school bus. So sometime this afternoon, it'll be up. And, like I say, there's link. If you go to Anchor.fm and type in Daydream About Nice Things, you should be able to find it. So, by the way, I have a update. His Way Homestead's asking, and I meant to update everybody. We have a tie for the #1 most listened to podcast now. Somebody has chased down Caravanning with the Westies and have tied them for the first place spot, and that is His Way Homestead. They are tied for the most listened to podcast on our channel. So that was pretty cool. I seen that this morning, by the way. So y'all go on over and pick out your favorite one or listen to all of them. I don't know if they have a listen to all like they do on YouTube, but I'm not a podcast person. Like, in other words, I've not been used to that, but I tell you what, I've learned to like it since I've been uploading. I thought how cool that is. You just turn it on and drive down the road and listen.
Yeah, and listen to it. Mm-hmm.
So you're listening to yourself.
I do that occasionally to make sure that we're doing
That's
it
a
right.
little on the sadistic side, just saying.
No, I listen to one. I'll pull one like every now and then to make sure that we're doing it right. So I don't listen to every one of them. That takes too long. I can't do 2 hours and listen to 2 hours. There's not that much. I'm not on the road that much. But anyway, so getting back to our guest.
I want to say that I really enjoyed his video that he did at Jones Beach State Park. I loved it.
It's one of my favorite places to be.
Yeah, the weather was perfect, and you just being on your bike and filming everything on the boardwalk and the different locations. And you went into pretty big detail, you know, with the stores that are out there. I know there wasn't too many people, you know, but I think that's probably a good thing right now. So you can ride your bike.
Well, one of the pleasures of living on an island is that I'm very close to the shore. It's only about a 10-minute drive to that location. After 4:30, they stopped charging the $10 parking fee, which I refuse to ever pay in my life. I don't think I've ever paid to park there. After 4:30, it's free. That's what I did on that video. It was about 4:30. I popped into the parking lot, hopped on the bike. I did a nice shot straight across from east to west, and took it nice and slow back and showed all the little details along the way. It's a place that I grew up, spent some quality time as a young sprout down there, getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So what's cool, I just now noticed you said that's a 1968.
Yes, it is.
That's
It was
the
built.
year I was born.
It was built a month before I was born, as a matter of fact, in August of 1968. I'm sorry, 67. I was born in September of 67.
What's your birthday?
The 4th.
Aha, mine's the 25th.
Oh, happy birthday. I just celebrated my 53rd last week.
Yep.
Mine's today.
Exactly a year old. Do what?
Birthday's today.
Happy birthday.
His birthday is today.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Felix.
So everybody in the chat start singing happy birthday. You noticed I said chat.
Is in September too. Oh, I'm sorry. What's his name? What's his name's is in September too. He's the 23rd.
Oh, my wife is Sunday, and then mine's the 25th. And I have 2 brother-in-laws that's the 25th.
Yeah, I have a dad and an uncle who have birthdays in September too.
Well, you know, it's very cold in January. It's one way to keep warm, I suppose.
Yep.
Look at that Twinkie.
There's
Beautiful.
my girl.
Isn't it cute? I love it.
So, Felix, by the way, we'll go over all of our rigs. Nettie has the Taj Mahal Class A, 44 foot Class A.
40. No, you keep
40. And Felix down below, she's the cargo largo of the bunch. She's the cargo trailer conversion.
Oh, that's one of the reasons why I started watching her channel, was because I love that trailer.
Yeah.
Ah.
Woo-hoo.
And then what's his name showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is beautiful.
She has talked Jerry Holly into joining the Cargo Largo community. And Jerry Holly, you might have been in here Monday, bought a trailer right out of the chat live Monday morning while we were on.
Yeah.
Nice.
First time guest.
Yeah, the guest that had never been in here.
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing, but this might be the best way to buy an RV these days. It'd be on YouTube, because you can't find one at the dealers right now.
Oh, yeah. Let me check something here. while y'all do that. So, Boondocking with Boomer had a question. Do you find that your Airstream does not have a lot of storage?
No, it does not have a ton of storage, and it kind of works out okay because when you're keeping a trailer permanently docked, you don't want to store a lot of stuff anyway. I built a storage shed across from the trailer, and that's where I store most of my goods, food goods, cooking goods. I try to keep a lot of that stuff out of Twinkie because it attracts visitors that are not appreciated, little mice.
Right.
You don't want to make a lot of habitat for them by putting a whole lot of sweaters in the cabinets. So if you look around, as I go through the cabinets in the trailer, you'll see they're mostly empty because you really have to keep them empty. Every time I go up, you have to disinfect everything.
On this metal panel that you have that's showing right now, I can't remember. Did you tell me you were going to leave that in there, but just kind of bypass around it or something?
Well, that's the control panel. Now, back in the '60s, that was like NASA's state-of-the-art science. But right now, it's a whole bunch of spaghetti wire behind it. It's crazy. I don't ever want to touch it if I don't have to. It works. Everything, you push the buttons, the water pump goes on.
Oh, wow.
The sensors are a little funky, though. The water level sensors, they don't really work, but I don't care. The little clocks and whatnot are out of commission. They even need a battery, believe it or not. A little C battery makes all that work. But I'm trying to do as little as possible to her, leaving it the original radio, the original control panel. I just bring in portable radio and that kind of thing, portable lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it as original as possible. I mean, I could gut it and start over and make a brand new RV out of it, but it wouldn't make any sense.
No.
So you're going to keep it original and suffer through keeping it original. And then when you pass on to your daughters or your kids, they're going to be so wealthy, they're going to send it off somewhere like to Kansas to the Airstream guy. He's going to totally make it brand new. They're going to enjoy it as a new 1968. Dad will have suffered with it being original all of its life.
Well, nothing would make me happier to hear that. But to be honest, since they've grown up, they've lost interest in camping with your dear old dad. That's why you don't see them with me too much. But they're young girls; they don't want to be out in the woods, digging cat holes and stuff.
Yeah, my daughter used to deer hunt with me. Now she's got a boyfriend. So
as long as she has someone to go deer hunting with, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always introduced the boyfriends to my collection, if you know what I mean.
Now, Meemaw Matters wants to know, what year is Twinkie again?
She's a 1968 Airstream Globetrotter, 20 foot.
Wow.
And she was built in 1967.
Every time you say Globetrotter, I think of Metal Arc Lemon.
Yeah. Don't you remember the Scooby-Doo episode where the Globetrotters were in it?
Yes.
That's exactly where it came from.
When you bought Twinkie off of eBay, were you actually searching for something, or did you just happen to stumble on it and be like, hey, that'd be cool? I mean, how were you looking for this?
Excellent question. The reality was I was looking for ultralight trailers. I had started with
you went polar opposite there, didn't you?
Well, no, believe it or not, this Airstream is very light for its size. It's only 2990 dry. That's very, very light, especially for the age. Back in the 60s, we didn't have the large trucks to pull these trailers, so they tended to make them a little bit on the lighter side. Later on in the 70s, they tripled the weight. This same trailer, wow. The 24-foot Safari by Airstream today is close to 7,000 pounds. Maybe more. Now, after looking through the ultralights and the teardrops, I saw a program dedicated to ultralight trailers on the Discovery Channel. And I never was able to confirm it, but I believe that Twinkie was actually featured on the show. The little keychain that I show in this video with her name printed on it, I saw on the show, but I'd never been able to go back and find that episode again. But due to that show, that's what brought me to eBay to start looking to see if there was one available for me. That was a bit of a transition going from. I really started looking almost at the utility trailers for an ultralight, like a teardrop.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of started, and it progressed into this. And when I ran across this one, I knew it was right. It's kind of like when you fall in love with your girl. You know it's right.
You know. Mm-hmm.
So, you said when you first got this, the girls used to go camping with you. You got 2 girls?
I've got 2 girls. Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, we used to camp as a family. We had the big family cabin tent. My girls used to attend sleepaway camp up in the Adirondacks every summer. So it was an opportunity for us to go up a week before, have a family camp out. Then we drop the kids off at camp, and then the wife and I could have a husband-wife camp out. Yeah. And then we'd go back 2 weeks later to pick them up and bring them home. So it would be like a really epic summer vacation. 3-4 weeks we'd be up in the woods.
So have you ever camped in Twinkie, or just Twinkie stays where Twinkie is?
We spent quite a few good camping trips. So we used to go down to the beach, down at the ocean front. There's an RV park in a place called Lido Beach. I'm going to do a review of Camp Nickerson, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And you're camping right there, just across the dunes from the ocean. We would do that every summer. And also out east, on the east end of Long Island, there's another campground called Wildwood on the North Shore on the Sound. We used to go there a lot, as well as, of course, the Catskills and the Adirondacks. It just got to a point where my knuckles got so white they weren't coming back to color. So
Yeah.
I had to park it and be done with it.
Man,
I have no regrets.
It's a beautiful Airstream.
Mhm.
It was kind of part of the plan when I purchased the property that it's sitting on. The property, the RV, all kind of were part of it. I didn't have the property yet when I bought the trailer, but I knew that's the direction I was going in.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found the trailer, I parked that at the house, and then we searched for the property. We actually used the trailer to search for the property. We'd park it at a local campground and then do our exploring for the day.
So
No.
you aren't really intending to take her out anymore on the road to camp in from this point on,
No.
is what
From
I'm
this
getting.
point on, she's like a museum piece right now.
Right,
Mhm.
right. So do you plan to get something else, or are you just going to stick with the tent camping that you do, or?
Well, if it was strictly up to me, I would stick with tent camping. But I believe my wife would like to get a nice RV eventually down the line.
Yeah.
She's still working right now, so maybe when she gets a little closer to retirement, I'll start looking into buying. I'm leaning toward the travel trailer. Be honest with you, a utility trailer conversion would be probably what I would do today.
Cargo Largo.
Ooh,
family.
Cargo Largo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that would make a great YouTube channel, Cargo Largo. Somebody's gonna pick that up. You might as well do it.
I'll go look it up right now.
Yeah, J. Charles Outdoor Cargo Largo.
But we'll see how that goes. I mean, she'd probably like me to get something, out of the dealership with all the frills and the slides and all of that stuff. So whatever my wife wants, she gets. That's the name of the game.
Well,
Wow.
the slides, which are really crafty, you can probably put some slides in, but I mean, you can put if you look up some of those cargo trailers, some people get really fancy with their conversion,
Sure do.
Yeah, but I have
Hey,
yet to
Felix, there's a funnel.
slide though.
I don't want to slide. Yeah.
No.
There.
What did I tell you about that funnel? I'll be stuck in the ground. Stop it.
That's how I get my fresh water into the trailer.
That's not how we were talking about it. Felix is a big fan of funnels. That's all I want to say about that.
Nope. I'm not.
This week, I think every channel that's come up, we've talked a little bit about potties. And when you brought that funnel out, it just reminded us of a potty story. And so
Yeah, we're talking like
it involved a funnel, and it was not pretty. So anyway, so you guys, this is your camping spot. Y'all own this property.
Yes.
Wow.
that's
This
nice.
it's 5.5 acres behind an old farm in the Catskill Mountains.
Is that
Wow.
where you're at now that we're seeing behind you?
No, behind me is a hiking trail that I did about a year ago. Not far, about half-hour drive away.
Mm-hmm.
That's called Giant Ledge. It's on the trail up to Panther Mountain. I'll be doing that one again. It's actually where I'm sitting now. Behind me is a camping area that's halfway up the mountain with the most gorgeous view. If you can
Oh
tell.
yes.
It's a knockout view.
Oh boy, it
Aw.
looks good behind the van.
That picture right there is in Harrington, Kansas, as I was driving her home. She's covered in an inch and a half of ice right there. We had to go into
Oh, you bought it?
yeah, that's where I just brought her home from. Yes.
Wow.
That was a big adventure, a real big adventure. And it was
That don't look like it'd be hard to pull. I know you
Excuse me.
said white knuckling it. I
Bless
mean, I
you.
pulled bigger rigs through bigger cities.
well, I had never, before this day, I had never towed a trailer before in my life, believe that or not.
Man, it was shining back then, wasn't it?
The
Look
man
at
that I
him,
purchased
yeah.
it from, when you buy these used, they come with the old 1968 clear coat on them. That's probably what you've seen out there, where they look very hazy and flat colored. What you do is they hit it with an acid solution, and it burns off the old clear coat and leaves you with a really nice shiny RV. It won't stay that way for long until you buff it out, but that's how you get the most of it off. That's the way I picked it up. He had already cleaned off the old finish, and I brought it home and I buffed it up to that kind of a finish.
Wow. Man, I just so want to take that and restore it.
I know. It's
This
good.
is Camp Nickerson, where we would camp at the beach. Those are my little girls on the bicycles.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
look at that. It's so cool.
Man, I
And
so
you
want to
can
restore
make
that.
The awning and stuff, that was original too, right? The awning that you
No,
had?
it looks it, doesn't it? But I got it
Mhm.
from Vintage Trailer Supply. They're
Okay,
It's not even actually the original awning that came with it. The original awning had bars on the sides that come off the edge of the trailer. This
Look
is
at that
what they call
rainbow.
it's a rope. Isn't it beautiful? And look at the reflection in the Airstream too.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's
That's true.
just amazing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whenever I see Twinkie, I get a little distracted. It's,
Yeah.
So, Twinkie would be worth quite a bit of money as she sets.
Absolutely, yeah. When I purchased her, I paid $7,100 for it. When it was brand new in 1968, take a guess how much it cost.
In 68, I'm going to say it cost $3,800.
I was going to say $29.95.
The very same $7,100.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It didn't lose a nickel over 30 years, 40 years.
wow.
Wow.
It's kind of like a Harley Davidson. They do tend to accrue value over time, especially when they get in vogue or in fashion, which they are right now.
Right.
I'd still never sell her though.
Wow. It's beautiful. It's
I mean,
beautiful.
I guess if things got bad, I would try to sell the trailer with the property and try to keep it as one. I think that would be the easiest way to market it, to be honest with you.
No, I'd say somebody will pay you good money to buy it and restore it.
Very possible. They're very possible. They're very popular in Europe right now.
Man. And what the cool thing is, it looks like the structure of it is solid. And even the interior is solid. It just needs to be refreshed.
Yep. That's it. It's really in original condition. The only thing I did to the interior was oil. I oiled the wood features. You know, that's really all you can do, linseed oil. And the rest of it is just a matter of keeping it clean and keeping the mice away. They're my nemesis. You know, you got to keep the lawn cut way back, and it's all a matter of maintenance. If you let it go, the woods will reclaim anything you leave there.
Right.
Although the aluminum is a good option, it really doesn't deteriorate. Like the way that like iron, when it rusts, it turns into iron oxide. When aluminum deteriorates, it turns into aluminum oxide, and it only stays on the surface. It doesn't deteriorate the actual metal itself. So you can just go back at any time with a buffing wheel, and I could bring that right back up to a mirror finish tomorrow. It wouldn't be hard at all.
Wow. I've seen a lot of those Airstreams. I drive a school bus, and I've seen several sitting on the side of the road, and I'm thinking you never could get that to shine again. But I guess you can. I
You'd
guess
be
I learned
surprised.
something new.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. You know, you take off the initial clear coat with they call it aircraft remover. It's basically a very strong paint remover, and you spray it on and let it soak a while, and then you rinse it off, and that gets rid of the bulk of the old finish. And then you just have to go back with a polishing wheel and some and buffing polish, a compound, and it just takes the aluminum oxide off. And next thing you know, your wife's doing her makeup in the side of your trailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or you. I mean, no judgment if you want to do your mattress. That's just fine. I'm an easygoing guy here. Easygoing guy.
Boondocking with Boomer said buff the crap out of it.
Absolutely. Yep.
You have you got a lot of room in there as far as the bedding is what I'm noticing. I'm surprised by that. Is that the table right there?
I've got it set up as a bunkhouse right now. What you're looking at used to be a side gaucho. It would be a couch that folds out into a bed like that. Now, I got rid of that mattress, the gaucho mattress with all the folds in it, and I just put in a foam mattress there and made a single bed. And up against the nose is a queen size foam bed. So there's plenty of room. It's obviously not set up for family anymore. It's basically set up for my wife and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes to kick me out of bed. She likes to have her own sleep. I'm a restless sleeper, so once she's done with me, she throws me out of the bed. I go to my own side of the show. Did I get too personal? I don't know. Maybe not. This is a family show. I don't want to take it any further.
Yeah.
So, you said that your wife would probably want something nearer and nicer. Is she a proponent of maybe restoring this, and you're just anti-restoring it?
Sometimes I think she just tolerates me when it comes to the Airstream. I don't think it was her first choice, but that's okay. She lets me make bad choices once in a while, and I don't think this was one of them. I think it worked out to be really good. She likes it now, but what she's missing is some of the modern conveniences. Not that she's missing a lot, to be honest with you. The Airstream really does most of what the newer ones do. What she's missing are the electronic components. We have the shower, we have the bathroom, we have the kitchen. So it all kind of works out well, but it doesn't have that extra space that the slide outs give you in the more modern trailers.
So Uncle Lisa wants to know if you're going to go camping solo in the snow this year again with your camera.
I can't imagine why not. I would love to. Hello, Uncle Lisa. It's nice to see you. I'm sorry, by the way, everyone in the chat. I'm not able to see the chat right now because I'm vain and I haven't wanted to wear my glasses. So I'll go back.
Literally cannot see the chat. Literally.
I'm kind of going blindly through life right here, but it's working out okay. I will go back later and I'll say hi to everybody. I promise. I'm not being rude, ignoring you. I might be being rude, but I'm not ignoring you.
That's funny.
So you camp in all weather conditions. It doesn't matter.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, what's the old saying? If you only camp on sunny days, you're missing out on 2/3 of the fun.
Wow.
On my last couple of trips, I got caught in the rain, and someone might be disappointed with the rain, but to me, with the right equipment, the rain is a beautiful place to be. You can really, the sounds that you get out of the forest are just incredible. And it also, I don't want to sound antisocial because it's easy for me to do that. It's a natural for me, but it keeps people away. You go out in bad weather, there's nobody around to get in your face. It's just you and nature. So to put up with a little bit of rain, I bring my rain slicker. I bring a tarp. Have a great time.
So one of your videos where you were, it's been quite a while back, you were doing some dehydrating, and you actually take the dehydrated food out with you, and then you're out there, and you had used one of these adorable little pan sets, and I thought, my gosh, that would be so cool because it doesn't take up any space. And then a couple months after that, we were at an RV show, and I actually found a set of pans like that, only a little bit bigger. And I bought them for our camper, and I'm like, hey, that's what he had on his.
I've seen yours. Yeah, I've seen yours on your videos.
I think ours were just a little bit bigger than yours because yours was more like backpack size or whatever. But yeah, so I had that in my head, and when I found those, I'm like, hey, I'm getting those, and I've loved those pans. Those are awesome because they take up no space.
I've got the two different types. When I want to hike ultralight, I've got the titanium set that you're talking about. That's fantastic. It's a great set of pans. It weighs practically nothing, really. And I even got myself a titanium coffee cup to keep in the whole setup. It's a nice little package. Takes up no space whatsoever. And it's great for working with dehydrated food. You've got multiple containers to both boil water and combine the food without having to transfer the dirt. the soot from the bottom of one pan to the other. So it does work out really, really nicely. As far as dehydrating food, it's best. I like to dehydrate my own stuff. I will eat Mountain House. You've seen me eat Mountain House, but if I can avoid it, I would much rather eat my own food, eat my own sauce, eat my mom's spaghetti sauce.
Do you just do the dehydrating for your trips that you go out on, or do you actually do that to keep it at your home? And
for the most part, it's just for me, for hiking and camping. Well, except for the fruit roll-ups. The fruit roll-ups, I can't keep them in the refrigerator, to be honest with you. As fast as I make them, they disappear. There's nothing better than a real natural snack that's homemade, and you know where it came from. You know what's in it. Wow. No matter what the manufacturer tells you, you never know what's winding up in the foods.
Which you just recently made some homemade grape juice. I watched that video. You said that was like a tradition in your family. I think that's pretty cool that you do that. Keep the tradition going.
It's a very special video for me. It's I had a very, very good relationship with my father and with his father. I didn't know my grandfather very well. He passed when I was younger, but we did spend some special times in my youth at his house in Queens. And the primary memory of him is the grapevine and what we did with the grapes, which was make grape jelly. It's one of my very, very first early memories of life, and it'll be one that sticks with me forever, is picking the wax out of my teeth after taking the jelly out of the jars that were covered in paraffin to keep them fresh. That'll always go with me to my dying day. I think I'll always remember that taste. Negative or positive, it's a good one for me because it reminds me of my grandpa.
Right. That's cool.
Like I said, I'm about this close to crying just about every moment of my life.
KT Slow Momentum has the Man Criers Club, and I am the vice president.
I'm the president. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I've got a lot to be proud of. I got a lot to be happy for, so it gets to me.
I really enjoy your premieres when I'm able to go in there and chat with you. Are you going to do some of those?
Honestly, I haven't been doing them lately. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, it's a nerve thing. I get, like, right now, I'm sweating bullets right now because of this. I'm not, and it's funny because I've been in front of people all my life. But
you're a natural at this.
Yeah, but I'm still nervous wreck. Maybe that's why it keeps me on my toes. But I keep chickening out. I almost did it with the beach video. I kind of had my finger hovering over the premiere button.
Yeah.
And I went publish. And what's been happening the last few. I will. Now that you've said it, I wasn't sure if people appreciated them as much. There have been arguments saying that it lowers the amount of comments that you get because people figure they've commented on the premiere and they don't have to come back and comment later.
That is true.
It's really not the reason that I'm not doing it, to be honest with you. It's more of a nerve thing. I have to get over. I think that I should be doing them more. So, I appreciate you liking them.
So I do watch analytics some, and they get on to me a lot for doing that. But if you don't do it for fun, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Granted, I do want to be a mega channel one day. Who don't? But I do it fun. If I let everybody tell me what to do, there wouldn't be no morning show. Because everybody, not everybody, a lot of people say it wouldn't work.
Except for us. Because we still tell you what to do.
Count your blessings, Gary. That's a good
one. Yeah. I really love premieres. I love being in there. I love chatting in there.
I love premieres.
And I enjoy being able to communicate back and forth while the video's running.
You know what I like about premieres?
It's kind of a trade-off too, because you maybe get less comments, but you probably are going to get at least a few people that may not watch your video or may not watch it all the way through later, and you're kind of getting the trade-off. Do you want that watch time, or do you want their comment when they watch a quarter of your video later? I would rather have the watch time and let them come in and chat with me while the video's playing,
I'd rather have the interaction. I'll tell you why. I was on Grassroots Living. That's all they do is premieres.
That's all they do, yeah.
And they're about 15, sometimes they're longer, 15, 20 minutes. But anyway, I was on one of his premieres, the last one that he done by himself. anyway, and he was talking about power units, the Jackery, and some different things. And he had some other things there. And I asked him about those. He was announcing future projects he was going to do, premiere projects. And I was asking him about them. That gave him the idea to make a premiere video about some of my questions. You see what I'm saying? So he gained video content off interacting with the chat.
Well, I could see there's a natural coming together of the live stream and the premiere. I've seen a few people do it where they'll either do a premiere and then wind into a live stream right after, or more commonly, I'm seeing a live stream that says, okay, live stream's over, everyone, here comes the premiere, and you can kind of introduce it. So I was thinking maybe that would be a good way for me to break into live streaming, maybe when I come out with my next video, to come live an hour before the premiere and then spend an hour online chatting with people and then go into the premiere. I think that would make sense. It's probably the direction that I'm going to go in.
It worked great. We've been doing that some with Happy Place Camping. Actually, what we do to keep from running over on somebody, we cut ours 15 minutes short and go raid hers. And that's been working out great.
Yeah.
And but I think premieres is a great way to start because you can interact with the chat, but you're not on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, because I've been doing these live streams, and at first, yes, I had the whole nervous, whoo, it's hot in here.
Well, but
after the first few, I got used to it. But then that very premiere, it went right back to the, whoo, it's hot in here. I'm nervous. So, and it's all the same, mostly it was the same people that, I see in this chat daily. So I don't know why it made me nervous, but I guess just because it was different.
No, you were just
it doesn't bother me now. I got used to it. So.
Well, I got to say, while I have the opportunity, y'all made me feel very comfortable here today. I was started out sweating, but I'm doing a lot better now. I just feel like I'm, just talking to some good people, some good friends.
Oh, we appreciate that.
That's what it's all about.
The whole show started out as sitting around drinking coffee because we was all confined to our house, and all we've done to that is we've got it in a scheduled time frame.
Yeah,
we've got it a little bit better organized than it used to be, and we've tried to bring people from the outside in so we have more stuff to talk about. So we're still just all sitting around the campfire. We just don't have a campfire drinking coffee. Some people are drinking chocolate milk, but other of us are drinking coffee. So
I drink whatever you like. I like my cup of tea. I'm happy.
Well, the chocolate milk thing is the inside joke for people that put cream and sugar in their coffee and try to call it coffee. It's not coffee if you put stuff in it. It's cappuccino or chocolate milk.
Oh, look at the pancakes. Oh, that looks delicious.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry. I know how this tasted. It was delicious.
Oh, man. Now, do you have a Blackstone?
I lost that.
Do you have a Blackstone?
No, I do not have a Blackstone. I have a Weber charcoal grill, and I do everything else on cast iron.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a big cast iron fan, right? Because I've watched you make quite a few things in cast iron.
I have the cast iron Dutch oven, and I have my cast iron skillet. Between those two items, I can cook just about anything on the menu. Yeah. If I can't cook it in there, I don't want to eat it, so it's easy.
I haven't jumped into the cast iron thing. My mom did it years ago. I was pretty young, and I remember her doing all the seasoning and the, and they're really heavy. And in my old age, I recently, it's been a few years, but I've started having issues with hands and wrists, and I'm afraid they'd be just a little too heavy.
Well, I have a little. You keep doing this with them and trying to knock people out. I
try to keep it on the stove so I don't have to hold it.
Right. I didn't realize that. I thought they were multi-purpose.
Oh, they are.
Oh.
You're good.
But I haven't jumped into the whole cast iron thing yet. But I don't know if I will. I just don't know if that's going to be for me. But
So Texas Family Camping. I gave him an out because he says he cooks with cast iron.
Cast iron. And
And
that's basically what a Blackstone is, right? Wouldn't you say?
right. Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, you're seasoning it just like you would a pan.
So I gave him an out because he does have cast iron. If he had said he only had a Weber grill, then I would have kicked him out. That's all I'm saying.
I'd go out and buy one tomorrow if I had to. But
So, Uncle Lisa wants to know if you are a hunter at all. Do you do any?
I've not. It's not that I have anything against hunting or any problem with that. I'm a gun owner. I'm a shooter. I go fishing, but to be honest with you, I kind of feel bad for the fish sometimes. I'm more of a catch and release kind of guy. I know it's a little wrong of me, but I do eat meat. I go to the butcher shop, but I don't have to look the cow in the face. I feel bad for them. I know it's the human in me coming out, but I don't mind eating a steak, but I don't want to.
You know what makes me feel bad about eating like deer meat or cows? If somebody cooks it wrong, I feel so bad they sacrifice their life for a loser meal.
Oh, I've heard deer can be cooked really badly too.
The Boondocking with Boomer said that he hunts at Walmart.
Me too.
So Boondocking with Boomer had another tip for you. They said that, or somebody said that green tea is a good cure for arthritis.
It's a good cure for a lot of things. Excellent in antioxidants.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good for you. Right now, I'm drinking black. In the morning, I need all the help I can get. But in the afternoons, I'll switch to green tea with a little bit of a wildflower honey is always nice in green tea. But it's got a little less caffeine than regular tea.
Yeah.
So caffeine, I found out this week is good for my hemochromatosis. So I may have to up the amount of cups I drank today. Or drink today. So we may have to start doing a night show every day.
You're gonna have to.
I'm more of a morning guy. That's when you asked me what time I'd like to be here. That's why I went with the morning. I'll be falling asleep by 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's pretty pathetic, I know, but that's my life. I usually watch. I lay on the couch and I watch YouTube videos till I fall asleep. So if I ever make a comment to you and it doesn't seem like I watched the video, I really did. I was just sleeping while I was watching it.
You hit the button and fell asleep.
Well, my method for watching videos is pretty much. Sorry, I just kicked the whole world here. It's pretty much. I think a lot of people do the same thing. Is I will go through my subscriptions and I'll make a watch list and then start it up and go about my day. I'll be watching and doing a little bit of work in the kitchen. I'll take the laptop. What's great about the laptop is I can walk around house with it. If I'm working outside, I can set it up on the porch and watch. Sometimes I'm laying in my hammock. I might fall asleep. So it does happen. I've actually left messages on the same video twice a couple of times because I wasn't sure and I went back. I couldn't find my message, so I just left another one just to be safe. So sometimes I'll watch your video 2 or 3 times before I actually remember to make the comments. But that's good for everybody. You'll get the watch time. You get the extra watches. Just keep it running all the time. That's
You're more than welcome to come in and watch every one of my videos twice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I appreciate a lot of comments.
There's not enough time in the day to watch everything. I mean, ever since I've had 300-400 subscribers, it gets very difficult to watch everybody that's watching you. So that becomes my priority. If you watch my channel, you get right onto my watch list. You're going to be the first one watched. And after I'm done with that, then I'll go to the rest of everybody and see what else is interesting. Right. But a lot of times, there's just no time for all that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I watch those that support me and and do that. Though they're first on the list. And then I go down the list of, the rest.
If you're not seeing me watching your videos, you got to understand, you got to know that it's because you're not really, and it's not a tit for tat thing. It's just, it's a time thing.
Right.
I would love to watch everybody's video. It's not enough hours in the day.
So you're saying that you're
sometimes forgetting to comment because I will watch on my TV. I'll watch on the Roku, and I'll watch the video and everything and be like, okay, I got to remember to go back and comment on that. And then sometimes I will forget. So, I hope people can understand that sometimes we watch them, but we just, we don't have the means to comment right at the moment. And then sometimes we're old, we forget.
So while we're on the topic, I think it'd be a good thing to throw out every once in a while. I know some people leave some fantastic comments, long, detailed comments showing that they spent a lot of quality time. And that's great. But if you don't have time to leave a great paragraph, a great story on my site, a quick thumbs up will be fine. Just as long as I know that you were there, I'll take that. I'll take that happily. That's more than enough. Because sometimes that's the best, especially with the internationals where I don't even know what the hell they're saying.
I know. Right?
I mean, I'll go to Google Translate sometimes and I'll get a little feel for it, but usually it's just a thumbs up, way to go, like 23.
Now, you were saying that your wife still works. Do you still work or are you retired?
I'm retired right now. I guess sort of you'd call it retired. I'm still a freelance photographer, and I'll do the odd job once in a while, but it's not really career-based. Mm-hmm. My wife's a chief financial officer of a large produce company in New York City, so she's very busy. And we decided about a year or two ago, I was working one of my retail jobs in a local shop, and it just wasn't making sense. What was I bringing home an extra $400 or $500 a week? And it just it wasn't paying for what we were. We needed a housekeeper, we needed a landscaper, we needed people to shop for us, and it's just getting to the point where I was spending $500 to make $4. Stay home, have fun, and other opportunities come your way. Obviously, this just fell into my lap, and I'm loving every minute of this.
Gary, I show that we got 30 people in the chat.
Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you coming. I hope you're not here to see me. I mean,
they came to see the rock star, you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take down my hair and do some head banging. I can do that.
Yeah, I'm sort of start growing mine out. I don't know. I was thinking this morning about buzzing it off, but then by the end of the day,
this is pandemic hair right here. This is from, technically speaking, I started growing it out back in January, February. I thought through the course of my life, I've donated about 4 ponytails to Locks of Love.
Yeah,
they make wigs for little girls with cancer who lose their hair. But luckily, and I'm so happy about this one, our prayers was answered because the little girls aren't losing their hair anymore. The medicines that were given for cancer doesn't do that anymore to the kids. So it was my prayer. It was something that I prayed for years, that they would no longer need my ponytail. I still make them. They sell them, and they use the money to help the kids.
Yeah. Periodically,
I'll do that. I also get a really fancy haircut from a nice man down in North America in one of those fancy shops. He gives me a free haircut every time I donate, so it's worth it. My hair grows like weed too. If I just do nothing, it just goes crazy.
Mine's been growing since I buzzed it off. Who'd I buzz it off for? Was it Millie? No, I shaved my beard for Millie. I buzzed it off
for Jerry.
I was hiding during all of that. I didn't want to get anyone near those buzzers.
Yeah, I buzzed it off for Jerry Holly.
For Jerry Holly.
Yeah. So that was when? When was that?
May.
That's how long I've been growing it.
May.
We got Wandering Aces Adventures that just came into the chat right now.
So about 4 months. But I grew up with long hair. I always had long hair growing up. But as I've gotten older, long hair and me just collide. J. Charles, Van Life Rock said you now have 800 subscribers.
Oh, we hit the big number. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Congrats.
Oh, we have reason to celebrate. Very nice. I'll have to go live later. What time are you going on? I don't want to step on your schedule.
No, we're going to stick to our one night a week. The night.
Yeah, we do one night a week.
We do 6 live streams a week. We used to do 8 live streams a week. And I started taking the weekends off. And that gave more people time to have live streams that didn't want to have it like in our place. So, at the same time.
Yeah.
So
you do the morning show Monday through Friday and then one night show on Tuesday.
The Tuesday night show is a big hit. And I think it's because we only do one. But a lot of people can't be here during the day. So we get a lot of people on our night show. But I'm glad to see Uncle Lisa here. Man, I miss cutting up with him. I get up at 4:30 in the morning when I drive the school bus. So I miss all these late night parties. Me and Nettie and Felix and Uncle Lisa and all of us used to hang out at. And I miss all that. And but boy, I can't do a 12 or 1 o'clocker and then get up at 4:30 and expect to get the bus to school. So That's been tough missing out on all that. So
The only time I stay up that late is when I'm caught up in editing. Sometimes when I'm editing a video, I won't stop. I'll just keep going till I'm done. I'm kind of like that. I get a little crazy.
Yeah.
If I have to go to bed, it's I wake up first thing in the morning and I'm right back at it until it's done.
Senior Sisters here. Any of you guys that have not been over to Senior Sisters Facebook page need to go over and check out her latest post, because I am so ecstatic. Senior Sisters going to have to start hanging out here, because we're trying to mix it up, but we do have a lot of van life channels going to be on. And Senior Sister and her husband are proud owners of I think it's a Ford Transit extended van, and I'm pretty sure they're going to make a van life van out of that. I don't think they're in business to need a cargo van.
They are going to convert it. She did answer my comment on Facebook. They are going to. So hopefully they'll be doing videos of that so that we can watch progress.
And she's also a new member, so thank you so much, your sister.
Yeah, that was something I told them not to let me forget. Thanks for being one of our new members. If you want to be a member, that's what all the green names are for. You got to learn how to do all this too, John. If you want to be a new member,
I'm learning.
We have content, and might I add, I think quality content on the members tab, content that you won't see here on YouTube. You'll get to know me a whole lot better, not more than you want to know, but a whole lot better. And that's stuff that we don't share on YouTube. And, we just cut up and have fun and stuff. And I try to post something every day. You might not get something every day, but that members only thing comes, your name turns green and you get emojis to use that other people don't get to use. But the big thing is you get access to the members tab. We're not taking away anything from the YouTube channel. It's still free. Everything that we would have done on YouTube before, we still do. Patreon's still there. If you want to do the member thing, but add a little bit of Dirt Road Missions in with it, you can do all that over at Patreon. We still got all that up and going. So, but anyway, thanks for all of our members and all of our Patreon members and people that bought our shirts and our t-shirts and people that bought me coffee and I don't know, people that bought me cheers. And I mean, I just appreciate all of y'all. There's no way this show would be where it is.
And what is the cost of the membership? They have a question asking that.
The membership is $4.99. I get about $3 of that. YouTube gets the rest. I get around $3. So that just that's a great way for me to give Tammy that money and say this is why I spend a little bit more time on YouTube, because I have people paying for my time. So and if you want to be a member, I don't know if there's members links showing, because I see different than y'all do. Is there a member link on the YouTube side? But anyway, if you don't see the membership link, you can go to the About page, and there's a membership link.
Yeah, it's on the About.
Yeah, it's $4.99 a month.
I think it depends on the device you're on.
Yeah, because I think you see it, right, Philip?
On my phone, yes. On my phone, it's right next to your name by the subscribe button. So
yeah, and Apple, you go to the About.
Okay.
And so on my iPhone, I don't even see it. So
right.
Yeah.
But if you go to the About, if you go to our channel name, click on it, and then the About page, or there's a membership button. If you go to our channel, if you click on Daydream About Nice Things, there's a membership button at the top. Click it, and it'll tell you everything. And so that is how that all works. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool little feature. It allows us to have a little bit, take a little bit extra money to do things with. And I say buy coffee, but we don't buy our coffee anymore. We have people that furnishes our coffee, and I appreciate that. K&R Destinations. What is the coffee company?
Roasters
Marketplace furnishes me, or has furnished me some coffee. Over the Hill RV has furnished me coffee.
And they have tea there too, John, at Roaster Marketplace.
Actually, let me back up a little bit. Mel, Nettie's husband, was the first person to sponsor coffee for me. So, and I appreciate that. And he set a trend. So then everybody started throwing me coffee.
He knew that we needed to get you some coffee since I had to work with you. Try to get you a little bit calmed down.
So that's one of the biggest things that has shocked me. Even we were monetized before we were monetized, if that makes sense.
It does.
We met so many people like these two yahoos sitting below us and the people in the chat that wanted to do things for us. And that I'm a mission pastor. I'm used to giving, going out deciding what organizations we're going to help or what person maybe we're going to help. That's my job at the church, and I travel the globe doing mission. I'm a I don't want to say a natural born giver, but that is my calling to go and give. I'm not a receiver.
Yeah.
So that has been hard to Uncle Lisa Productions is wanting me to drink poop coffee, by the way. Him and Thrifty Angela.
Yeah, poop coffee. I know.
No poop coffee.
So, but anyway, the gifts and stuff that we've received from the time we started doing live stream, maybe even before, microphones, cheers. Miss Nettie and Mel got me this awesome cheer, and that has been something that I never would have imagined in the YouTube world. I mean, I didn't even know that existed. Have you experienced any of that, John? Anybody want to reach out to you and do anything like that?
As far as YouTube community, I've had a few people shout out my channel for me. As a matter of fact, yesterday, a good friend, someone I've been subscribed to for a while, a channel called It's Good in the Woods. He watched my grape juice video, and he was so inspired that he has a grapevine on his homestead as well. He went out and he basically mimicked it. It was flattering. It really was. It was fantastic. That's basically what I've been getting people. No one's made any donations to my fund though. That's for sure.
Yeah, we were, and we just. I mean, I tell people, if you get on there and have fun, this has been my experience. People always worry about the monetize, and I did. I wanted to get past that because it was just something out there, and everybody kept bringing it up, and I wanted to get past that point because it didn't mean as much to me because we done had people supporting us before we got to that point. And they said, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. I didn't ask people to do that. I just gave them something that they wanted to be a part of. And that's why I say, if you have fun and give people something different.
Well, Gary, you seem like a natural demon fighter. The demon of external validation is a tough one to fight. Once people start telling you how great you are and patting you on the back, it's a hard one to get, to walk away from you. You just learn to love it. When I was taking photographs, that was really, other than obviously supporting my family, the kiss on the cheek from the mother of the bride sometimes was the best payment that I would ever get. That the true and honest expression of gratefulness and thankfulness that I actually was able to help them enjoy their day. That meant more to me than the zeros on the check. And don't get me wrong, I needed the zeros on the check. It's an expensive place to raise kids. But I wasn't seeing any of that. That was going right to my wife accountant. My pleasures come from the interaction with my people, with my subjects that are in front of the camera. That's my payment, is the look back. The young lady getting married who looks at me and says, thank you, we had such a beautiful day. That meant I was doing a good job. And that's all I've ever really looked for. Every day of my life when I wake up, my motivation has been solely to make people around me happy, to make people around me better. We can all raise each other. A lot of people go through life kind of put everybody down to make themselves look a little bit bigger. I've always tried to raise people up around me, and then they drag you up with them. The high tide raises all ships, that kind of thing. I've always tried to be positive like that, and I've developed some great relationships over the years with people. Yes, again, I'll say it again, the money's important. You have to be able to support your family. But the real payment that I've got over my long life of working with people, I've always been in the service industries. is the honest and the true gratefulness that people give you back after you help them. I understand where you're coming from.
When I was a medic, I was a volunteer medic for years before I ever took a paid job. I enjoyed it when I volunteered. I hated it when I was getting paid.
Yeah.
When I put the uniform on and clocked in and out with the ambulance service, I went from being a giver to people looking at me as a taker. Does that make sense? They thought because I was getting paid that they should expect more out of me. That's the way I felt when I went into a scene or whatever. When I was doing it for free, I was looked at differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more, and people treated us, I think, better. When I get up from my Christmas dinner and go check Mama's blood pressure because she wasn't feeling good, and Gary's just down the road, he'll come do it, he won't mind at all, and I didn't mind. I love doing that. But when I'm laying at the ambulance station and it's 1 o'clock in the morning on New Year's, and you've been up all night for a bunch of drunks, and then they call, Mama's not feeling good. When you get there, they treat you different when you come in wearing the uniform. So that's what I was afraid of that would happen here, and I've not seen it happen yet. I thought when people started being members and all that kind of stuff, I thought people would treat us different. And, we've had the one or two that didn't like it, but most of them are still around because they understand that part of it. But
and I think John's premieres would be amazing because we want the interaction with you.
Yeah.
And just you being in the chat with us as you're showing your video, just connecting to you right now, talking to you. It's like we're doing the same thing, but you can't see us.
Well, and you can answer questions too.
Yeah.
I love
it. It's nice to be able to laugh with you guys rather than me just kind of being in a room by myself laughing. My neighbors think I'm a little out of my mind, I think. It's better. Yeah, we're all laughing together now. This is great. It's not just me having a good time here watching the chat. It's a very unique experience.
It is. And if you start doing lives, and say like when Gary started having a producer, he noticed it was so much better having somebody on the panel versus just him up here talking to the chat, because you have the interaction with the person up here as well. And you may want to try that route,
Well, be honest with you, I'm a bit envious of, especially when I'm dealing with the RV community, where a lot of my channel friends work as a couple. I don't have that privilege, and I could really see how nice that would be. Where all I would have to do would be create, or all I would have to do would be edit. Some of the load, because it's a lot. I love every aspect of it, but when you put it all together between creating, editing, and promoting, it's a lot of work. It would be nice to have a second person. Now, the wife will retire eventually. I suppose I'll be something to look forward to. But,
well, if it makes you feel any better, what's his name doesn't do any of that. he doesn't edit. I do that. I don't think it's necessarily because he doesn't want to. It's more because I don't want him to. I want to make sure it's done the way I want it done. And it's easier to do it myself than to tell him to do how to do it. So, I
believe.
I mean, I think he would, if I taught him how to do it, I think he'd probably be willing to, help out. But, he does every once in a while come up with some places to go or something, like.
Sometimes that's the hardest part, the creative side.
Fishing and the bracket fishing, I kind of just leave that to him, really.
He said he finances it in the chat.
Yeah, there you go.
He's in the chat.
He pays the money for the equipment that I use.
Yeah,
gotta have a backer, right?
Oh,
I'm answering a question, guys. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves.
What we were doing?
Yeah,
amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's kick Gary out. We'll take over. It's all good.
They were the couple. They were the confusion over how much a month the membership. The membership is $4.99 per month, and we get to keep about $3 a month because YouTube gets their cut, and they should get a cut.
Yeah.
They provide a free platform, so.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but it's pretty cool. I think we put out unique content to our members. So, but anyway, well, great, John. It's been awesome having you on.
Yeah,
I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for inviting me on. I was kind of flabbergasted when I got the video, the email when you asked me to be here. I don't think I'm that interesting, but if you guys want to have me here, I'm more than happy to show up and answer questions. I'm an open book. Anything you want to know, this is your chance.
Yeah, well, it won't be long. You'll have a couple thousand subscribers, and you'll be running your own live streams, and you'll be invited.
You are interesting. Very interesting.
Oh, thank you, Nettie. I appreciate that.
Yep. Everybody unique and interesting in their own way, and you got a great channel going there. And I know a lot of people want to go over there and keep up with you, but we're about to run out.
I hope I can inspire people and make them feel a little bit better. You know, I want you to walk away from my videos with a good feeling, and I hope it translates to everybody.
Yeah.
It's honest. It's me. If you don't like it, it's me. I can't change it. It's just
right. That's the thing. If you are you every day, you don't have to worry about who you was yesterday.
You know, pass or fail. This is what I am.
Yeah.
My kids like me, so yeah, they're pretty good characters.
I have a hard time finding people that like me. They like all these yahoos that surround me.
You know, it's funny. We get to be, you know, this age. I've been watching less and less of my friends can or want to do the things that I like to do. I get into a crowd of my buddies from high school and college, and I'll say, well, let's go out camping. Let's go. Oh, I can't go out camping. Just sleeping on the ground. My back's no good. It's like, oh, if you're not doing it, you're never going to be able to do it. That's why you're going out there. You're hiking. You get exercise. Strong muscles can take sleeping on the ground. You know, it's just a matter of you got to get off the chair and get out there into the world.
You got to go.
There's a good reason to do it. If it wasn't for this, why would I be out there? Why,
Yeah.
Right. Well, you have a great day and a great weekend, and you take care of them girls and that boss lady of yours. Go buy her a real nice rig. Nettie can give you tips on rolling mansions. She knows all the best ones to get. And if you want to go cargo largo style, Philly up there.
I've got all the right people here. Yes.
Yeah. If we can't cover it right here on the screen, I'm sure somebody in the chat will pick you up. So.
My wife's probably watching right now at her office. She can't interact because she's supposed to look like she's working. But hi, Sharon. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you all for having me.
All right. We'll see you. Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Was that not awesome or what?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He sure didn't seem nervous.
No,
I didn't think he was.
I think he played that off really well.
Yeah. I thought maybe he got more comfortable as he was going.
Yeah.
Such a great person. He's got a great personality, and I love his videos and his content. It's a good channel.
Mm-hmm. And he's got an awesome dog.
Yeah.
I love when he's cooking something and his dog's like right there, just waiting for something to fall.
Yeah.
No, he's just thinking, come on, drop anything.
And that Airstream, that was, oh my, that was so cool that he won that. Mm-hmm.
I had to go deliver a message from my wife to our son a while ago. He was in the doghouse, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, buddy. You don't want to be in the doghouse with Miss Tammy.
No.
So tomorrow is Fun Day Friday. Don't forget. Monday is Meemaw Matters. Tuesday morning is On Van Life mode. Tuesday night's Traveling Robert. Y'all help us promote Traveling Robert. We would love to have 100+ here for Traveling Robert next Tuesday night. We have a mega channel that is going to be on the 24th. We're not going to name the channel yet because mega channels they may have to last minute make changes because they got sponsors to be accountable for and all that. So start preparing. We'll have a mega channel September the 24th. That's going to be my birthday present because my birthday's the next day. Also, that date for all you guys out there, we did not have a choice in the time because, for one, we were dealing with time zones, and two, like I said, they have obligations. So the 24th, we will be on at a different time that morning. So we may come on. I know what time they're going to be on. Did we decide we're going to do a regular 2 hour?
I don't know. We might have to talk about that.
We're going to talk about the time a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a couple weeks, right? Before the show.
What week after next?
Should be like 2 weeks after, 2 weeks, isn't it?
2 weeks from today.
Yeah. And Boondocking with Boomer wanted to make sure that we did get Robert, which I think he's traveling Robert.
Robert, unless something happens last minute, he's going to be here. So, but the 24th, we will be coming on later that day. So we won't be running morning and then that one. We'll be coming on later that day to accommodate it being live. Now, I could have recorded it, but it's no fun recording. I wanted you guys to be able to interact. So, September the 24th, later that day than normal, we're going to have a mega channel with us. When I say mega, about 500,000 subscribers. To me, that's mega channel. So,
yeah, Felix, did you want to answer Boondocking with Boomer's question on how did you get him for Traveling Robert?
I emailed and asked.
Emailed and asked. That's exactly.
And you said he was so sweet, right?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Yeah, he responded back pretty quickly. Pretty much with just I'd love to type response. And yeah, I mean, he was super easy to work with. You know, I mean, he wanted to know, I let him know what dates we had. And I'm pretty much like, you take your pick, because I know he's traveling. I know he's busier, and
be prepared to wait because most big channels has a list. So, go in it with 30 or 45 days. Matter of fact, we've been talking to some that have said they could be on in December. So,
I've got one in November that's a fairly good sized channel, not, as big, but we've already booked one in November because they're busy. The bigger they get, I think probably the busier they are. They have more to do, and so
we're going to try to book more. We still are mainly trying to help everybody, but we're going to try to get some bigger channels so that y'all have more access to the bigger, and us too, more access to the bigger channels and pick their brain a little bit because I ask different questions than a lot of people do. So. Like I like to know what kind of coffee they drink and all that kind of good stuff, and
we are trying to get some channels that are, a little outside of just strictly RV, or vans or cargo trailers, or we're trying to expand out into some different stuff so that not only can you guys discover some new channels, but, it also brings hopefully some new people into, the channel, Gary's channel. So, we're trying to do some different things, talking to some different types of channels. And I think we've got, a few that's a little outside the norm. But
anyway, that we talk to channels like you guys talk to channels, and we get ignored like you guys get ignored. I say these two. I don't do bookings anymore because they do so much of it. If I did it, I would get in their way, or I would email somebody they've already talked to. So
Yeah,
they
kind of like
work
this
together.
morning when you
They
text that channel this morning, said this one would be great, and I'm like, I already asked them a little bit back.
Yeah.
I've already been there, emailed them.
Yeah.
So now what I do is I text these yahoos and say who I'd like to have, and then they either email them or tell me they've done emailed them.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, you guys in the chat, make me a promise that if you ever get to be a mega channel, you won't be rude to people when they ask you to be.
Yeah,
We've had some horror stories about people being rude. Just say no or don't answer.
Yeah, we've had some, and I'm never going to tell you who. Nettie knows, but we've just had some that have just been pretty much outright rude. I mean, it's almost like it floored me that they would actually just come back with such a rude response when they could either have just ignored it or just said, "Oh, no thanks, I'm not interested."
Yeah, it's just you should be flattered that somebody's asking if they can interview you, but if you can't do it, just say, I can't do it. Thank you for asking, basically.
Yeah. Which
And
I have had some that
wrong.
have emailed back and been very kind, and just said, no, we can't right now, or,
And we understand that. We totally understand.
But, you don't have to be rude about it.
Yeah.
Before we head out of here, Texas Family Camping has a premiere tonight. Everybody make sure you get over there and check out their premiere. And Nettie, remind me later to check out their premiere. Was the last
reminder?
And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, guys, go over to the community tab and check out. The community tab is open to everybody. The members get exclusive. But there's still a community tab. I put stuff in it nearly every day too. There is a great shout out from ABC Minimalist RV Lifestyle channel. Really cool shout out. It's over there. Just a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to put stuff on there every day. So y'all wear that out. If I have any announcements that I announce to all you, it's going to be there. So get used to using that community tab.
If you're a member and you scroll on down that community tab just a little ways, you might get to see a picture of me when I was little bitty.
Yep.
And it looks like Nursing Our Travel Bug also has a premiere today too, they're saying.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So yours is at 5 Eastern. That's 4 my time. I'll be late. I don't get home till a little after 4, but I might try to turn it on and listen to it on my way home.
I think, I can't remember. Texas Family Camping's was maybe 7 Central, 8 Central.
I want to see, unless I can put it in the chat.
There's Arizona Insider. I didn't see them. They may have been in here the whole time, but
7 p.m. Central.
Okay.
All right, so that's a couple of premieres you guys can hook up.
Nice.
All right, great. Midway Homestead. I seen your chat just now.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple minutes. We can hang out a little bit longer.
Is anybody coming on after us today?
I don't know. Also, don't forget, for all you that wears gaiters like me, myself and Happy Place Camping both has gaiters on our merchandise store. They're pricey.
Yeah.
But we have to pay a lot to get them. So let's just say there's a small profit margin. I don't know.
Yeah, they're marked down, but they're still.
Yeah, we don't do the prices they suggest. So just so y'all know that, because we want y'all to have them third anyway. So
I think this one was. I think those gaiters. They were. I want to say the suggested retail was like $31.99 or something. It was ridiculous.
We have them for $22.99, and I think that's ridiculous. But
yeah, I kind of did too. But some people really like those. So
that's all I wear.
I don't see anybody coming on. Following Gary.
We can hang out a little bit. We got more people here now than we've had the whole show. We got 35, 34.
Yeah, we got Jay Charles outdoors in the chat too. He had a great time.
I tell y'all, so they have time to fully process before people start watching them. You don't have the option to schedule your releases. You should have an option, and it should when you should have the now. When I upload mine, I tell it when I want it to come on. So it should be.
Okay, I was reading his.
Yeah, he was talking to Ava.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was reading it incorrectly. So she's saying she doesn't have the option. When I premiere, the only option is right then. I can't schedule it for later. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you should be able to click schedule. If
And
you
then
click
just
on
choose.
schedule and pick your date and time, then underneath that, you should be able to select as a premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you select premiere before you enter your date and time, if that locks it into that date and time. I've never done it because I just go down the line. So I select schedule, I select the date, I select the time, and then I click premiere. So I don't know if maybe if you do it in the opposite direction, if it locks it into that current date and time. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man.
I think everybody's starting to head out. Got dentist appointments and going on today.
Yeah, we probably need to head out. I need to eat lunch and get ready to go back to school and download the podcast and all that kind of good stuff.
Real quick though, yes, Ava, you have to click schedule to make it a premiere. You have to. Otherwise, if you just go through the normal process, it's going to release it right as soon as you
pick your time.
Yeah, it's done. So you do have to click schedule to get it to premiere.
So, senior sister, I can't wait to see the build on your van. Keep us posted.
And yes, boondocking with Boomer, we have a lot of, YouTube friends and stuff that's right in the middle of all those fires.
Van life again, gotta move
about some of them because they're right in the middle of it. So,
all right. So Bob's Adventure on Wheels just went live. If y'all want to go over there and check him out.
Yes, Meemaws, if you do a premiere, it automatically does the chat option. If you do a premiere, it automatically has chat. So, okay, are we done?
I think we're done. All in. Y'all have any more questions? A few more seconds, and we're gonna bug out of here.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop his link.
Okay. Nettie's gonna drop Bob's if y'all want to run over there and check him out.
Okay, it's dropped.
Whoa, Jean Bainey's sister's like 2 miles away from the fire. Sounds like she needs to be leaving there. Gina Payne's starter has messed up on her van, so she's supposed to get a starter today and get out of there. So, all right.
All righty.
Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow.